Stay in there. Wait, wait, wait. Sit down. Sit. Good boy. Now wait. Wait. Okay. Good boy. Okay, folks. So I am back on the farm today, and you can see my border collie Jim. He's over there checking things out. But my dump trailer battery is just about shot. So I'm going to take one of the interstate batteries, the deep cycle batteries, one of the new ones that I took out of my camper, and I'm going to put in this dump trailer, and I'm going to wire a solar charger to it, just a 80 watt 12 volt solar panel, which is usually 28 volts max, plus a charge controller, cheap charge controller from like Roll King or Harbor Freight. I think I got this one at Harbor Freight, but just to keep it topped off so that I don't have to keep charging it, and it's got power whenever I need to use it. So hang tight and we'll get this swapped out. All right, so we got 1/2 inch here on this one. These have been changed by someone previously. So these are not the factory bolts that was in these lugs. Yep, that was 1/2 inch. And we used to have a power operated tedder that came in this thing, where you could just plug it up and it would charge its own battery, but that hasn't worked for a while. So I'm just removing those wires altogether. And the reason you don't want to hook a solar panel directly up to one of these batteries, like that old 80 watt solar panel sitting over here against the tongue, it's about 20 years old, is because it doesn't know when to kick off, and it can overcharge your battery, and on its own, that is. And it can also over voltage your battery, because it's a 28 volt. Most 12 volt solar panels will put out at least 20 volts or 28. So there's that. That one's on there good. There we go. And of course it has no handles on it. This battery was 1113, so November of 2013. It's getting a little old. It's about 10 years old. All right. We still got focus on the, yep. Now let me grab the other battery. Interstate, a good battery. Probably ought to turn that around. Let's see what we got here. These wires are all going to that factory charge controller that no longer works. It's a 120 volt trickle charger. These are just extra posts on this, so I'll use these to hook my solar panel, my charge controller to whenever I get ready. And that's going to be my hot. That's going to be my ground. Make sure you get those right. gonna get me a little hammer to lock it with it or something. Pick that down some. Battery terminal tightness is important. Now we can thread this back up. That ain't moving. That ain't moving. Alright, now I gotta find some parts to wire up the solar charge controller with. So I'm going to need me a wire, 2 wires, at least 12 gauge I would think, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have my cheap Harbor Freight charge controller here. Got some short wires on it that are going to go to the battery. So the silver colored wire is going to the hot on the battery. That's the wrong size. Let me get a different socket. Yeah, that's a size 14. Alright, and this is the negative side of the battery, so I need the copper colored wire. And I'm just going to wrap this. This is not something I would typically do. Typically I would crimp a connector on there, but since this is just going to be sitting out here, it's fine for now. I just wanted to keep this battery topped off. So that's the ground. This is the hot. Hear my charge controller beep when it got that power. It says there's 11.8 volts, which means this battery was not full charged when I took it out. There. And now, this other end just needs to go into the solar panel. This end here. Not sure I can get that where you can see it on the camera. Let's see. This charge controller right there for now. Can you see that on the camera? Yeah, you can, a little bit. Stick it right there. Maybe I'll find a magnet to hold it better. remember where all my magnets are. We'll get that up later. So I'm going to pick this up and show you the back of these solar panels. Granted, this one's 20 years old, but a lot of them are still the same. Neighbor's dogs is in a fight. I got a new neighbor, so I notice he's got a couple dogs and a wireless fence up for them, and ground fence, which is a good idea. Those work really well. If you have a dog, you can train for that. Take these old wires out of here. There we go. Yeah. And then these, it's kind of hard to do with one hand. You got to figure out which one's hot and which one's ground. So hold on, I'll be back. All right, so in this particular case, the wire that I'm using for the hot has writing on it. You can see it there. The other side doesn't. So if I find these, notice the hot's over here on this side, ground's over there. Find the one that has writing on it, which is this one, and run it up the hot side. And the one without writing, and run it up the ground side. And now I'm just going to tighten those under those two screws. Okay, so I've got the solar panel set in there, wired into the solar charge controller. Solar charge controller wired into the new Interstate battery. Notice it's getting a 12.9 volts in, 4.5 amps. .2 amps, so that should just sit there and charge that battery right up. So that's how you make a trickle charger out of just old solar stuff you've got laying around. 20-year-old solar panel, an old piece of extension cord. It's a 12-2 braided wire. You want braided wire for DC. Running into an old Harbor Freight charge controller, out of the charge controller with a couple 12-gauge speaker wires, and over into the battery. And granted, the connections aren't that great. They should have been crimped and used the proper equipment, but hey, it works. Right, Jim? It works, bud. Huh? Yeah, it works. Nope, don't jump. Good boy. And I added the final touch, which is a plastic 5-frame nuke box with the lid cut off of it, an old one, and I just set it upside down over top of the charge controller to keep the rain and weather off of it. So that should do the trick. Solar panel there, and I'll probably wire it to the tongue just so the wind doesn't blow it off. But that will be a new battery and trickle charger for the dump trailer. So, hope you guys are having a good weekend. It's awful pretty and sunny here, but it's cold. Jim, you ready? Huh? You ready, bub? Sit down. Good boy. All right, go load up. Here, load up. Load up. Load up. Good boy. Good boy. Ready for your ride, huh? Okay. Say bye to everybody. Yeah, say bye-bye. You're a good boy. Yeah.